So, hi everyone, welcome to Impact Academy. Today, let us look at the Vedic period. So, let us start with the questions, and as and when required, let us look at some theory also. So, what was the language spoken by the Rig Vedic period? So, we have seen just now Rig Veda, basic early Vedic period. Here is okay, Rig Veda. Okay, you can see here Vedas: Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda. Okay, these are the four Vedas. So Rig Veda is the oldest Veda and it contains 1084 hymns, which we have seen. Fine. So the language spoken by the Rig Vedic period is Indo-Aryan. We've also seen some of the theories. Okay, Aryan invasion theory. Aryan invasion theory is the most widely accepted theory, and Central Asian theory given by Max Muller, and a couple of other theories also which we have seen. Okay, Aryan theories. Okay, Aryan migration theory, more widely accepted. Central Asian theory by Max Muller, and European theory by Sir William Jones, which obviously says Aryans came from Europe, and Indian theory by Sampurnanda Das, Dr. Sampurnan and A.C. Das, and other small theories: Arctic region theory, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Tibet theory, Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Swami Dayanand Saraswati, first thing you have to remember is 1875 uh, Arya Samaj. Okay, Arya Samaj, 1875, and he gave the call, go back to the Vedas and the Shuddhi movement, movement against cow slaughter, etc., etc. So it is a social religious movement, more specifically religious movement. Okay, it's very important, and he gave the Tibetan theory. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak also is very important. Lal Bal Pal and all will come to it in the modern history anyway. So all these are very important. So the language is Indo-Aryan. So if you look at AP history, you'll find this language is Prakrit. Okay, Pali is mostly used by Buddhists, and Prakrit is mostly used by the common people. The elite class, educated, they use Sanskrit, and the common people used to use Prakrit. If you remember in AP history, the Satavahanas, Ikshvakus, etc., etc. So it is more prominent Prakrit. The prominent features of Aryans were, okay, they domesticated the horse, which is fine. Their society was male dominated, which is true. They practiced cremation, which is also true. They used spoked wheels in their chariots. So all these are prominent features of the Aryans. Okay, and I would like to repeat, ancient history is more important today, because if you look at the recent civil services or group on anything, there was more emphasis on the ancient part, and tough questions have been asked. So you need to study in depth. Okay, in depth about, first you have to study the concepts from a standard textbook, some RS Sharma or anything, and after that you can go through some spectrum or lucent, etc., so that you can remember. Because see, studying is one thing and remembering is another thing. So while studying, you can study it as a topic, like just like a story, etc., but only when you practice questions on a frequent basis, you will be able to remember what you have studied, what kind of questions are being asked from the point of view of exam. The term Araya or Haraya is referred to a part of Afghanistan, and Afghanistan was at that time part of the IVC, and we are talking about the Vedic age. So 2500 to 1750 is the Indus Valley civilization. So after 1750, there is a gradual decline, and by 1500, the early Vedic age has started, and from 1500 to around 1000 BC or 1100 BC is the early Vedic period, and from 1100 or 1000 to 500 BC or 600 BC approximately. Different sources say different dates, but that is the timeline. And it is near that period, around 600 BC, near that period, we have Buddhism and Jainism, etc. And also, iron was invented near that period. And because of invention of iron, the Magadha Empire has flourished. Okay, one of the main reasons for flourishing of the Magadha Empire is invention of iron. So iron axes, iron plows, etc. They made agriculture possible on a large scale, and and so the Janapadas, Mahajanapadas became into large territorial kingdoms. So iron played a very important role. It's a very standard group one mains question also, about the factors that help the Magadha Empire. And one of the main reason is invention of iron. So the Aryans were said to be directly related to the ancestors of some groups of people. Okay, we've already seen the Aryan invasion theory. So basically, they are saying that they came from Central Asia or from Europe, etc. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically, two is not there. Chinese, obviously, Aryans are not Chinese. The Chinese are called as Zen or Orientals, etc., etc. And we had good trade relations with Chinese. We had good trade relations with the Romans, Europeans, everyone. From China, we used to import mostly jade, silk, etc. And India was very famous for spice trade and the cotton trade, the textile trade. And we used to import wine, slaves, horses, etc. from the Middle East and Roman. Roman mainly we used to export our spices and textiles, and we used to get the gold, Roman gold. So that's also very, I mean, these questions are very frequently asked, because some of the philosophers have opined that India had become the sink for Roman gold because of the insatiable pleasures of the Roman women. The Roman women, they were very fond of luxury. So they were buying Indian silk. Indian silk is considered, what is say, one of the best textile in the whole world at that time. So it was very expensive. So all those points you have to remember when it comes to ancient history. So everyone else sells, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of the Greeks, Latins, Teutons, Celts, Persians. Okay, we had relations with the Middle East, the Romans, Greeks, and all the other European countries. There was brisk trade happening right from the IVC, even probably before, but starting from the IVC, it was well documented. So which is the most mentioned in the river Rigveda? It is Saraswati, and Sindhu is Indus. Okay, Saraswati is the river that is lost now. Today, I don't think Saraswati is there. It is somewhere around Rajasthan in that area. So, which river is referred to as Nanditarna, or the best of rivers? Again, it is Saraswati. So, it is mostly mentioned in Rigveda multiple times. So, this I told you already. Remember at least 2 to 3 things. I remember 3 things very clearly. Um, He's saying which of the following is correctly matched. Okay. So JV, I told you many times. Jeelam is Vitashta. AC, Askini is Chenab. So this is wrong. And PR, Parushni is Ravi. So 3 is right, 5 is right. So 3 is right, 5 is right. So you can eliminate A and B. And 1 and 4. So 1 and 4. Satlaj, Sutidri is also right. And Askini is Chenab, is not BS. So obviously 4 is wrong. Eliminate this. Option is 1, 3, 5. Okay, Sutudri is Satlaj, and Chenab is not Vipasa. Chenab is, just a minute. Chenab. Okay, see. Chenab is Askini, and Vipas is Bias. Okay, and Sutudri is Satlaj, and all these other things. Purushni, Ravi, Vitasa, Jeelam. Okay, Drishtadvati, Gaddar, etc. etc. So you can remember these things, 3 or 4 things. You don't need to remember everything. If you remember 2 or 3, you will be able to eliminate everything. Fine. So it's a very standard question, very important. The rivers match the following. So which of the above are correctly matched? Again, Kurram, Krumu. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So except Jeelam, I told you JV Vitashta. Okay, Vitashta is Jeelam. Askini is China. So Askini is China. Jeelam is Vitashta. So this is obviously wrong. Other things are right. Right. Gomati is Gomal. Kurram is Krumu. Kabul is Kuba. And Swat is Suvastu. We have just seen in the list. Fine. So remember all those things. Remember at least 4 to 5. You need not remember everything, but at least 4 to 5, if you remember properly, you will be able to eliminate the rest. So in the Rigvedic time, there were slokas about Himalayas, Himavant, Vidyas, okay, Kirtar, etc. Kirtar is in Jammu and Kashmir, Kirtar Hills. And this Majuvant is not mentioned in the Rigveda. So remember this, Majuvant is not mentioned in the Rigveda. Vindhyas, Himavant and Kirtar is mentioned. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir was also very prominent place during the Rigveda times. Which of the following areas was not known to the Rigvedic people? Okay, Afghanistan is known, Punjab is known because they are all, it's a continuation of the IVC. So these are all very prominent IVC, Indus Valley Civilization sites. Afghanistan, you have Punjab, which is near Pakistan, and Kot Diji, etc. Northwestern Frontier Province. Okay, this is the early Vedic period. You can see. So it is this region. Okay, this is India, and here you have Pakistan. So this is basically a continuation of IVC. Starting from Indus Valley Civilization, it is a continuation into early Vedic period. So you have Saraswati River, okay, Sindhu River, which is the Indus. You have Sarayu, and see Mujavant. Okay, Mujavant is little bit far away. It is into central India, so they were not aware of it. Himavant is the Himalayas, and what else we did we so Kirtar, right? Kirtar will be somewhere here only, Jammu and Kashmir, right? Somewhere here it will be Kirtar Hills. Anyway, so remember all these things, okay? All these things also, the Chedi dynasty, Matsya dynasty, Puru dynasty. If you remember Mahabharatam, Puru dynasty is a prominent dynasty, Bharata, okay? The Pandavas and the Purus, etc., etc. Fine. Yedu is, I think, related to Krishna. Fine. So, Rajasthan was not known. All these others are more prominent. Afghanistan, Punjab, and Northwest Frontier Province, which is basically, again, Afghanistan, that northern part of Jammu and Kashmir, etc. To the east of which river was the Janapada Vaideha, founded by Vaideka Madhava, Sadanira. Okay, to the east of Sadanira river, we have the Janapada Vaideha. Janapadas, Mahajanapadas, actually they are formed during this period, during the Vedic period, to continuation to the Magadha Empire. Before the Magadha Empire, first there are the Janapadas, then there are the 16 Mahajanapadas. We will come to that in the Mahajanapada session. The story of Vaideka Madhava is given in which book? Satapatha Brahmana. We've already seen Rig Veda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda, Yajurveda, and we've seen the Brahmanas and the Upanishads also. There are 108 Upanishads, remember that. And Satapatha Brahmana is one frequently asked question, is very famous. And the story of Vaideka Madhava is given in Satapatha Brahmana. And Aitreya Brahmana is also very important, especially in AP history. A frequently asked question is the first, I mean, where was it mentioned about Andhras in the beginning? It is the Aitreya Brahmana. Okay, the Aitreya Brahmana mentions about the Andhras. So it is very famous for that. Which book of the later Vedic age divides the country into five parts? It is the Aitreya Brahmana. Satapatha Brahmana, Aitreya Brahmana, they are both very important. And of course, Vedas, Rig Veda and Atharva Veda is spells, right? Magic spells. Is it Atharva Veda or Yajur Veda? Magic spells? Let's find out. It's very important. What is, see. Okay, Atharva Veda contains charms and spells to ward off evils and diseases. Okay, so Atharva Veda is, it contains charms and spells. Rig Veda is the oldest. It has 1028. Okay, 1028 hymns, etc. And Samaveda is set to tune music, basically the slokas with a certain rhythm. And Yajurveda, as the name says, Yajna. Yajurveda you can remember as Yajna, performing different rituals and sacrifices. So Atharva Veda is basically lot of charms and spells, etc., mantras, tantras, etc., to ward off evil. Okay. So that is okay. What was Dasarajna? It's a battle of 10 kings, very prominent. We've seen at the end of IVC, Indus Valley Civilization, there is a battle of 10 kings. The battle of 10 kings is called as the Dasarajna. Next, Sudas of the Bharatas fought against three non-Aryan tribes on the banks of river Yamuna. Okay, Sudas of the Bharatas. See, Bharatas is here. We've seen just now. This is Bharatas. And Sutudri is Satlaj. Okay, remember that. Sutudri is Satlaj. Parushni, Askini is Chinap. Okay, Parushni is Ravi. Vipas is Bias. Okay, Bharata, etc. All these are important. Which priest was responsible for the organization of Confederacy of Ten Kings when he was dismissed by Sudas, the Tritsu ruler of the Bharata tribe? Okay, Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra is the answer. He was the priest who is responsible organization of the Confederacy of Ten Kings. So try to remember these things. Even if you don't remember, no problem. Just go through. The dasas are described by the Rigveda as the avrata, those who did not obey the ordinances of the gods. Okay, the akratu, those who did not perform. Basically, when the Aryans came from the Central Europe or the Central Asia, the dasas were the local people. So many theories say that they were the Indus Valley civilization people, and later they got shifted to southern India, like Tamil Nadu, etc. But initially they were inhabiting the IVC region, the dasas. So when the Aryans came, they were having war with the dasas. So basically, when the Aryans came, they are saying the dasas are apruta, means they are not having any allegiance to gods. They are akrutu, they don't know how to perform sacrifices. Anasa, those who were snub. Krishnavat, those who were dark skinned. So basically, the IVC people were also considered as dark skinned, and the Aryans are considered as fair skinned. Midravach, those whose speech was indistinct. So basically, they are coming and saying about all these bad qualities. Okay, because the Vedas were supposedly written by the Aryans, they are describing the Dasas in a negative way. So Panis are cattle traders. Basically, later on they became the Vaishyas. You can say they are basically trade and commerce. Rig Veda speaks of Panis as indulging in obviously trade and commerce. So what is the most numerous Varna? Is Vaishyas. Always you will have less number of Brahmins, less number because Kshatriyas are the ruling caste. You will have only one king, his relatives, etc. and few. But the majority of the people are traders. Okay, all the people who carry out trade and commerce, they are the Vaishyas. They are the more in number. So who among the following artisan classes were entitled to wear the sacred thread in the among the artisan classes? That means the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas can wear it by default. So among the Shudras are the lower caste. Only the chariot makers. We have seen already the name for chariot makers, Suta. Okay, Suta are called chariot makers. They are the only ones allowed to wear the sacred thread or the genu, which is worn by the upper caste Brahmins, etc. So the marriage of Maruch with Rodasi resulted in which form of marriage? It's okay. I don't think these days they will ask at such depth. But anyway, it is a polyandry. Polyandry means there is one husband and multiple wives. That is polyandry. Monogamy is one husband, one wife. Levirate is when the husband dies, the brother marries the wife of the. I mean, the younger brother marries the wife of the elder brother. Polygamy is basically multiple men and multiple, I mean, either one man having multiple wives or one wife having multiple husbands. That is called polygamy. So, who among the following is the oldest known group of Aryans? Hittites. Okay, Hittites are the oldest group of Aryans. So, they kept coming. The Greeks started coming, the Romans started. I mean, there was a series of what you say migration or invasion, etc. And even in later times, for example, even after the Maurya age, you have these Sakas, etc., etc. You have post-Mauryan period, you have Vema, Katvises, etc. All these other people, Kanishka. Kanishka is one prominent, what you say, outsider at that point of time. And later on, they all got assimilated into the Hindu fold. So we look into that in depth when we come to that post-Mauryan period, etc., Gupta period, etc. So the book which for the first time mentioned the eastern and western seas for the first time is Satapada Brahmana. So Satapada Brahmana is very important. Aitreya Brahmana also mentions about Andhra, and we've also seen just now something else. Aitreya Brahmana also mentions about it divides the country into five parts. Okay, remember that it divides the country into five parts. Okay, Aitreya Brahmana. It also speaks about the Andhras, and the Shatapada Brahmana is first time mentioning about the eastern and western sea, basically Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. Also, Shatapada Brahmana is famous for something else we've seen just now. Anyone remembers? We've just seen something for Shatapada Brahmana. Okay, the story of Vaidega Madhava. The story of Vaidega Madhava is also mentioned in Satapatha Brahmana. Fine. Okay, try to remember those two things at least. Brahmana, Aitreya Brahmana and Shatapatha Brahmana. Which mandala of the Rigveda mentions the term Shudras? The 10th mandala. The 10th mandala of the Rigveda mentions Shudras. Also, the Rigveda mentions Gayatri Mantra. That is also important. The Rigveda mentions the Gayatri Mantra and the Purusha Shukta hymns. Okay, the Rigveda also mentions the 10th mandala of the Rigveda also mentions the Purusha Shukta hymns. Remember, keep that in mind. So, which of the following is considered to be the oldest tribal assembly? The Vidata. We already mentioned Sabha, Samiti, Jana, and Vidata. So, Sabha is the group of common people, Samiti is the group of the leaders, and Vidata is the oldest tribal assembly. Jana are the tribe in general, the people. So, this we have seen. The earliest tax collected was Bhaga, spoils of war. Bali is voluntary offering, okay, which came later on. But just a minute. Okay, fine, let's continue. So, Bali is voluntary offering, and this is also important. Vishti is forced labor. Vishti is forced labor without any payment. Kara is customary share of grain. Okay, but and this is during the Gupta period. Sometimes it is 1/6, 1/4, 1/10. We have to try to remember what exactly. During the Mughals period also, I think it is 1/6. Let us see when Gupta comes. So Bali is voluntary offering and Baga is spoils of war. And the spoils of war is the earliest tax that was collected. The word Aryan literally means of high birth, and the locals were called as dasas, means more like slaves or like that. So obviously, Kula is the individual, the father and his children, his wife, etc. That is Kula, the head of the family was often called as Kulapa. And next comes the Grama, the village. Vishya is more like the town. Jana is like the what you can say district, and the Rashtra is the you can say like the whole state or the nation, etc. Okay, so this is the order. Kula is the first unit. Grama, Vish, Jana, Rashtra. Grama head will be Gramani, Vish head will be Vishayapati, etc. So you have to remember all those things exclusively. I mean, for example, the Rashtrakutas. If you look at the Rashtrakutas, it is divided into Rashtras, and if you look at the Pallavas, it is divided into Kottams, etc. If you are Cholas, okay, Nadus. So you have to remember as per, I mean, as per the dynasty. Each dynasty has their own, what you say, division. The Vijayanagara Empire also there are different divisions. You have the very famous what is the nine Kara system. So when that time comes, we'll look into it. So the word Varna is used in the Rigveda with reference to the color difference between Arya and Dasa. Okay, Aryas are the fair skinned and more fiber. Dasas are the lower dark skinned and lower birth, etc. So Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, they are all part of the Aryans itself. Within the Arya, the Varna, there are different Varnas. So consider the following statement about the Rigvedic age. Okay, there was no parda system. Yes, women were what you say with their faces open. Sati came later on. Sati came way after you can say like after the 6th century when the Muslim invasions have started. It is during that period Sati was performed. I think Sati was not there in the ancient period. And in general, you have to remember the position of women was very good, especially in the IVC and the early Vedic period. Only in the later Vedic period, the position of women has started to decline. And by the time it reached the Harshavardhana Empire, that is around the 6th century, the position of women had declined severely. So remember that early Vedic age, position of women was far better. Okay. So girls were given in marriage only after puberty, which is correct. Their own chose, I mean, they chose their husbands, Swayamvara, etc. So only two is the wrong option. So the most commonly mentioned god in Rigveda is Indra. Indra is the main god in Rigveda. Later on, after in the post Vedic period, etc., Indra lost his prominence. Okay, Soma is the god of plants. Agni, god of fire. Varuna is the god of rain. So is considered as the god of priest and the priest of the gods. Basically, Agni. Agni acts as a medium, like whatever rituals, whatever mantras we are chanting, they reach the gods through the Agni as the medium. That is what is said in the Vedic period. So remember that. So again, Gana, okay, Vidata is the assembly of eldest tribals is Vidata, and Gana we have seen. Bali is voluntary tax, and Rashtra is not there in the Rigvedic period. Rashtra, the concept of Rashtra came later on when we started having very large kingdoms. Then the concept of Rashtra emerged. Initially, it was not there. The Aryans cleared the forests in the initial stages with the help of fire. Okay, the iron invention came later on in the 500 600 BC. During that period, the invention of iron has happened. Before that, they used majorly, you set the forest on fire and then you start doing agriculture. Again, Purandara is Indra. In the Rigveda, Indra is the most prominent god. He was also called as Purandara, the breaker of force. Remember that, it's very important. Of which Rigvedic god was entrusted with the task of upholding the cosmic order is Varuna. So Indra is the Purandara, Agni is the medium, is the priest of gods and the god of priests. Remember that. Varuna is the task of upholding the cosmic order. Try to remember that. Which Rigvedic god was considered as the intermediary between gods and the people? Just now I had mentioned Agni. He was the intermediary between the gods and the people. So later Vedic god. I said early Vedic god Indra was very prominent. In the later Vedic period, Prajapati was very prominent, and later on, Vishnu and Rudra became more famous. Rudra means basically Shiva. So, in the early Vedic period, Indra was the biggest god. Later on, the other gods have become more famous than Indra, and Indra lost significance. Name the king who has been described as Agdadeva in the Rigveda. Okay, Purukutsa. Try to remember that name. Parikshit and all, Parikshit is the after the Mahabharata war, Parikshit became the king. So it is all Mahabharata, everything. We don't need to go into that depth for now. So the Bharatas and Kurus, who were two janas combined to form the Kurus, Duryodhana, etc. Okay, we have the Pandavas. Panchalas means Draupadi. Draupadi belongs to the Panchalas, etc. Surasenis, Koshala, they are all very prominent Janapadas. And Kurus means the combination of Bharatas and Kurus. And all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, they all belong to the Kuru clan. So which of the following statements about Indra, the Rigvedic god, are true? About 250 Rigvedic hymns are devoted to him. So 250 is a quite high number at that time. So Rigvedic time, early Vedic time, Indra was the prominent god and most hymns were dedicated to him. He played the role of warlord. We saw he is the breaker of force, also called as Purandara. So he is the role of warlord. So he was the intermediary between gods and people? No, that is Agni. Who is the intermediary between gods and people? Agni, basically fire. So he was considered to be the rain god. Rain god is, if I believe right, it is Varna, right? Okay. So I think this is also wrong. Only 1 and 2 are correct. Or Indra is also known as what you say, god of thunder, right? So maybe he is associated with the rain also. So Varuna is associated with the upholding the cosmic order. So Indra is associated with thunderstorms and rain, maybe. So that's why he said 1 to 4. It's fine. But importantly, you must remember 250, that is the most number of hymns are given to Indra. He is also called as Purandara, breaker of force, and he is the most prominent god in the early Vedic period. So these are fine. Now let us go to these questions. These are also important. So consider the following pairs of Vedas. Okay, so Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda. Very important, very basic. Everybody has to remember. Rig Veda is a collection of hymns. We have already seen 1028, right? 1028 hymns. Samaveda is collection of hymns mostly taken from songs. So basically, these slokas given a particular tune to sing, that is Samaveda. It contains a collection of songs mostly taken from Rigveda. Yajurveda, as I said, Yajura and Yajna, remember it that way. Collection of spells and charms is wrong because it is a collection of sacrificial rituals, etc. So the C is this actually. It's a collection of sacrificial formulae. And Atharva Veda is the last one, and it contains spells and charms. So C and D are wrongly matched, right? So which of the above pairs are incorrectly matched? C and D. So which Veda contains the Gayatri mantra? Already I told Rig Veda. When I say Rig Veda, 1028 hymns, it is the oldest Veda, and a couple of things which we have seen. It contains the Gayatri mantra, and the 10th mandala contains Purusha Shukta hymns, and something else we have seen, right? Okay, and Ramayana and Mahabharata are called as what you say, Itihasa. Okay, these are Vedas, and these are called as Itihasas, means those which happened. Basically, what it means is Itihasa means this happened like this. So Ramayana and Mahabharata are called as the two great Itihasas. So this question was asked in the civil service when I first gave the civil exam. This question was asked. The words Satyameva Jayate in the Indian emblem were taken from Mundaka Upanishad. So this is very important. I still remember this question. The words Satyameva Jayate in the Indian emblem are taken from the Mundaka Upanishad. Okay, and the other emblem is taken from Ashoka pillar, etc. All those things also you have to look into. But remember this Satyameva Jayate is from Mundaka Upanishad. Very important, frequently asked. So in the early Vedic period, Varna system was based on occupation. Later on, it became by birth, but in the early Vedic period, it was on occupation, and there was concept of social mobility. This again, which of the following stages of life are mentioned in the Aryan society? Brahmacharya. Next, it comes to Gruhastha, that means married. Then Vanaprastha. So he goes to the forest after around 60 or so. And then last comes the Sannyasa, renunciation of everything. How many types of marriage were practiced during the Vedic period? There are 8. So Brahma Vivaha, Prajapatya, Daiva, Arsha. Okay, what is Brahma Vivaha? So both husband and wife are from good families, and they look at the families also. 3 to 4 generations or 7 generations. So when everything is good, that is called Brahma Vivaha. Prajapatya is when the husband and wife, the bride and the groom are from a good family. That is Prajapatya. Next, Arsha. Arsha Vivaha means usually done to sages, rishis, etc. The cow is given as dowry. That is Arsha Vivaha and Daiva Vivaha. Daiva Vivaha is when the woman is given to the priest as a ritual. When he performs the ritual sacrifice, the woman is given as a what you say in marriage to the priest. That is called Daiva. And you have Gandharva Vivaha. Gandharva Vivaha is basically love marriage. Both the bride and the groom love each other and they get married. And then you have the negative, what you say, the bad marriages like Rakshasa, Paisacha, etc. Okay, just go through all those 8 types of marriage. It's very important. Upanishads are books on philosophy. And how many Upanishads are there? 108. We have seen 108 Upanishads are there. Okay, keep that in mind. Ashtadhyayi was written by Panini. And Panini is also, uh, I think he wrote in Tamil. He's famous for writing about Tamil grammar. Okay, Panini is related to Tamil language, and he wrote Ashtadhyayi. I think it's a work on Tamil grammar. And we know Kalidasa is very famous. Charaka is Ayurveda. He wrote about Ayurveda, etc. Vedvyas also, we know he wrote the Mahabharata, etc., etc. Right? So Kalidasa is Kalidasa Ramayana, or just let us Kalidasa wrote. So Kalidasa is the author of 2 Mahakavyas, Kumara Shambhavam, okay, which means Lord Kartikeya, etc., and Raghuvamsha, dynasty of Raghu. So these two are very important works of Kalidasa. So remember, Kalidasa wrote Raghuvamsha, which is very important, and Kumara Shambhavam. Kumara Shambhavam refers to Lord Kartikeya, okay, Lord Kartikeya, Kumaraswamy or Lord Murugan, etc. All those are same. And Raghuvamsha is the dynasty of Raghu. Okay, those are written by Kalidasa. Just let us Ramayana. Okay, sorry. Valmiki Ramayana. Valmiki wrote Ramayana. Of course, Tulsidas Ramayana, Molla Ramayana, Kamban Ramayana. Okay, all these things you have to remember. Molla is the famous female poet. So Molla Ramayana is also very famous. And Kamban. Okay, Kamban wrote Ramayana in Tamil. That's also very important. Kamban wrote Ramayana in Tamil, and Vedvyas wrote Mahabharata. Okay, Vedvyas wrote Mahabharata, the Vedas, and the Puranas. Okay, these are very important. So Ramayana was written by Valmiki, Mahabharata by Vedyas, and Ramayana was also written by Tulsidas and Molla, Kamban, etc. Those are some of the important things. And Panini wrote Ashtadhyayi about Tamil grammar. So let us check that also. Panini. Okay, Ashtadhyayi and Ashtadhyayi is about. Okay, it's a Sanskrit treatise on grammar. Okay, okay, not Tamil exactly. It's a Sanskrit treatise on grammar. He wrote about Sanskrit grammar. Okay, that is about Panini. So not Tamil exactly. It's about Sanskrit grammar. Very important. Frequently asked. Panini, Sanskrit grammar. Remember all those things. This is the important question. Okay, who was the first European to designate Aryans as a race? Max Muller. We've seen sometime back. Max Muller is the first European to designate Aryans as a race. Which metal was first used by the Vedic people? We have already seen Chalcolithic age, right? Copper. First copper came and then came iron. Remember that. Iron is not first. Iron came later on in around 600 BC something. Copper was there before also. The Chalcolithic age or the copper age. So consider the following statement regarding the society of Vedic age. Rig Vedic society was patriarchal in character, yes. Practice of levirate and widow remarriage, also called as niyoga. Okay, levirate is marrying brother's widow, and widow remarriage. Widow remarriage is niyoga. Temporarily, if you marry, that is called niyoga. So they both are practiced during the Rig Veda. Sati system was not there. Sati system came later on. Remember that. This is also a very important question. Such questions are being asked more these days. So we have already seen this. Kula, Grama, Vish, Jana, and Rashtra. Rashtra is the bigger unit, more like the kingdom or the state, etc. Kula is the family unit. The head of the family, the father, and the rest of the family is Kula. So which god was not worshipped by Aryans in the Rigvedic period? Shiva. Okay, Shiva became famous later on. Indra was the more prominent god during the Rigvedic period, and how many 250 hymns. Remember that. That is also important. 250 hymns were dedicated to Indra. He is also called as Purandara or breaker of force, and Agni is the medium, okay, of the gods and the people. Agni acts as a medium. Shiva came later on. So Rigveda we have already seen multiple times 1028. Okay, 1028 hymns were there in the Rigveda. And how many Upanishads were there? 108. So how many Mahajanapadas were there during the period of Gautam Buddha? It's very common question, everybody knows. 16. There are 16 Mahajanapadas. Okay, all that Koshala, Magadha, etc. All those things, Gandharva, all those things we'll see when it comes to Mahajanapadas. So name the tax which was collected from the common people by the kings, which is Bali. Bali is the voluntary tax. Vidata is the tribe of elders. Okay, the group of tribal elders are called Vidata, and Bali is the voluntary tax. And we have seen Baga. Baga is the spoils of war, and that was the first prominent tax collected. First was Baga, and later on came Bali. Bali is a voluntary tax. So, who was the founder of the Asiatic Society of Bengal in 1784 at Calcutta? William Jones. Try to remember that. So, Max Muller means you will get this Aryan theory, Central Asian theory, etc. Bal Gangadhar Tilak is very important. Kesari, Maharatna, etc. Those are important. We'll see in modern history. No need to look at it now. Very, very important. But we'll look at it in modern Indian history. So we've seen this sometime back. As the following theory of origins, we'll see Central Asian theory. Okay, Central Asian theory is Max Muller, and European theory is William Jones. Okay, and Indian theory was given by A.C. Das, and Bal Gangadhar Tilak gave the Arctic theory. And also we have seen one more theory, the Tibet theory, which was given by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. So European theory is William Jones, Central Asian theory is Max Muller, Arctic theory is Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Indian theory is A.C. Das and Sampurnanand. Okay, we've seen some time back. And Tibet theory was given by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Let me show you. Okay, see, Central Asian theory by Max Muller, European theory by Sir William Jones, Indian theory by Dr. Sampurnanand and A.C. Das, okay, Arctic theory by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Tibet theory by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. So try to remember these things because questions are being asked. So which of the correct ascending order of political structure? We've already seen multiple times. Kula, Grama, Vish, Jana, Rashtra. The ritualistic precepts attached to the hymns of the Vedas are known as Brahmanas. Okay. Samhitas we've already seen. Veda Samhita, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda. Okay, those are Veda Samhitas. Upanishads, we've seen 108 Upanishads, treatise on philosophy, and Brahmanas. Okay, Brahmanas are ritualistic precepts attached to the hymns of the Vedas, are known as the Brahmanas. We've seen two important Brahmanas, Aitreya Brahmana and Shatapatha Brahmana. So, Aitreya Brahmana mentions about Andhras, and also it mentions about, anyone remember?
Divides the country into 5 parts.
Okay, good. Divides the country into 5 parts. Aitreya Brahmana. And Shatapatha Brahmana mentions about the we've seen Vaidega Madhava. Okay, it mentions about the Vaidega Madhava. That king, I think, it's the name of the king or one. So Aitreya Brahmana mentions about Andhras, and it also divides the country into 5 parts. Next, consider the following statements regarding the Bogot's coin inscription, which is again very famous. So remember all these points. Bogotskoi is an inscription of 1400 BC. 1400 BC. That means it is just starting of the early Vedic period, which proved that Rig Veda must have come into existence much before that date. Okay. So Bogotskoi has mentions about the names of Vedic gods like Indra, Varuna, Mitra, and two Nasatyas. Remember that. And this inscription records a treaty between the Hittites. We've seen Hittites are the early people who came from outside. Migrants are Hittites and the Mitanni kings, and these gods were cited as witness of treaty. So it was the treaty between the Hittites and the Mitanni, and these gods of Indra, Varuna, Mitra, etc. They were the witness. And Bogotska inscription, I think, is in Afghanistan. Let us check it. Bogach. The inscription found mentions the names of Vedic gods and goddesses. Okay, and where is it? Where is it found? Turkey. Okay. The Gogajkai Arthas are a collection of texts found on the site of capital of the Hittite state, city of Hatasa, now in Turkey. It's not Afghanistan, it's Turkey. And the Hittites and all those people, they came from that. Hittites and the Mitanni kings. Hittites were the first to come. So what was the family structure of the Rigvedic Aryans? Patriarchal. Okay, no other doubt. It was patriarchal in the beginning. And the two popular assemblies of the Vedic period were Sabha and Samiti, which we already seen. Sabha and Samiti. Vidata is the group of elder tribals, and Jana is the tribe, the group of people. Sabha is the group of the common people, and Samiti is the group of the leaders, group of the elders. Sabha is the group, and Samiti are the leaders, you can say. So earliest text on music, okay, earliest text is Rig Veda, and then comes Samaveda, basically taking the hymns from the Rig Veda and uh, adding music in a particular, what is it, is called Samaveda, okay, and we've already seen Atharva Veda and Yajurveda. Yajurveda contains sacrificial formula, yajnas, etc. Atharva Veda contains hymns to ward off evil spells. Okay, basically tantras and mantras, etc. Purusha Shukta hymns also we've seen the 10th mandala of Rig Veda, and Krishna Yajurveda, Shukla Yajurveda are two things. Krishna Yajurveda is considered black, Shukla Yajurveda is considered white. So just keep that in mind. Two types of Yajurveda, basically performing sacrifices. So name the chief of the Rigvedic Bharata tribe who fought against the confederacy of 10 tribes. Okay, Sudas. So Sudas is the chief of Rigvedic Bharata tribe who fought against a confederacy of 10 tribes. This is the battle of 10 kings, also called as Dasaragya. Okay, we've seen already Dasaragya is the battle of 10 kings against Sudas. Sudas belongs to the Bharata, and who is the priest involved? Vishwamitra. We've already seen one question. Okay, Vishwamitra is the priest. So the Varna system was based on occupation, which is we've seen multiple times. Okay, so those are the questions. Fine.